In this recording, I want to remind you of something that is very important. Also when it comes to reaching people for Christ. Often, people are drawn into pagan Christianity. They're not drawn into the truth. They're not drawn close to Christ. They're drawn into pagan Christianity in those Babylon churches through so-called testimonies. And those testimonies are often emotional. That's why it touches people and people are drawn in. Now, listen to what I'm saying here. Any expert in advertisement would tell you that emotions draw people. Even people that claim to be cold-hearted, when you send the right signal and you provoke the right snares in their thinking, they are triggered. So in advertisement, they trigger you emotionally on a subconscious level through symbolism and often sexual imagery. So advertisement is a form of pornography. It's actually an expression of pornography, but people seldom will acknowledge this. Just like pornography tends to sell you something that's not real while you think it's real and there's something in it, the same way advertisement works. It's an expression of pornography. And in raw pornography, they only use fake images of two men, one disguised as a woman who has been transgendered, to trick you. Yes, the porn industry is an Apollonistic project. Those actors there are Apollonists. They worship the beast. And those female porn stars are not female. 99% of them are hidden transgenders. Just so that you will remember this. That's why it's very unattractive to even be interested in that thing called porn, because it's your mind, I'm going to say better said, your brain is being messed up by looking at it. Okay, but that's enough about raw porn. In advertisement, which you can see as a form of soft porn, they use, instead of raw sexual images, they use sexual suggestions combined with music, because this combined with music provokes emotions inside of you. It tends to trigger you to feel a certain way. And that's how you are tricked into purchasing items you don't need, and that's how you're tricked often in political movements. Now, the same thing that those pagan businessmen are using in the world to trap the masses and bind them to their products and to their services or to their political movements, the same thing is going on in pagan Christianity. And in pagan Christianity, there you have the wizards themselves, who are the officers of the shadow government. The shadow government is Satan's government on the earth, run by the beast directly, who's Apollo. In pagan Christianity, the wizards themselves use the most excellent form of advertisement. And that is through those pagan Christian testimonies. But many people don't realize that it's really advertisement, or better said, pornography, that's being used on them into drawing them into this harlot system called pagan Christianity. Because pagan Christianity is a harlot system. As I mentioned before in a previous video, pagan Christianity deforms you and turns you into an energetic slut or an energetic whore, whatever label you prefer to use. That is what pagan Christianity does to you. While the pimp with his lover boys out there are pimping young women directly, tracking them, and then luring them and tricking them into prostitution, in the same way, in a far more excellent way, pagan Christianity tricks you into becoming an energetic whore. That is what pagan Christianity does. So those testimonies in pagan Christianity, they are designed to trick you and to trap you. They're not designed to show you the glory of God and what Christ can do. That is what they say. Listen carefully to what I'm saying here. I mentioned before, advertisement is a soft expression of pornography. They come with a promise, and they symbolize this promise in symbols and in images. Often they use sexual images also, because that provokes people's base urges, so they do that. Or they put those hypnotic melodies in it, which will tend to draw your attention. Anyway, they come with a promise, and they trick you into thinking this promise is real. But if you look at it carefully, the promise is fake. The promise cannot be delivered. But the moment you're under the spell of the advertisement, you don't notice this. You've been blinded from seeing it. In the same way, in pagan Christianity, you have those actors who are hired by the shadow government itself, because the pagan pastor himself is a part of the harlot system. They hire those actors that come with a fake story of how Jesus made their lives whole. And the testimony they give is heartbreaking. It touches you. And by giving this heartbreaking message, people's emotions are triggered. Therefore, people's perception is blurred. They can't think straight, and they're lured in. That is what those pagan businessmen do when they show you pictures of hungry children in Africa. That hungry child they're showing you existed. Either the child is now a grown adult and things are well, or the child died, but they keep showing you these pictures of poor black Africans who need help, and they ask for a donation. They know that emotion works, especially when you use women and children. Well, in the same way, in pagan Christianity, they use emotion to trick you. They blind your perception, and you fall in a trap. And once you're in, they begin to use fear, counterfeit obligations, and guilt on you. Look, I'm not saying that Christ is not doing miracles. Of course, wonders and miracles happen in the name of Christ, okay? I mean, of course, Holy Spirit works out miraculously through believers in reaching the world. That's true. But understand also, the enemy also does so-called miracles, which are counterfeit miracles, lying wonders. The New Testament calls them. And he does those lying wonders in the name of Christ. So you ought to have discernment to see the real from the counterfeit. I already made a video explaining to you the difference between real Christianity and pagan Christianity. Pagan Christianity being the cheap counterfeit. If you know the difference between real Christianity and pagan Christianity, then you have less difficulty discerning real miracles from counterfeit miracles. Okay, let me give an illustration here. Let's say you had a guy that was addicted to drugs. Okay, he was really addicted. He needed to take his drugs every day, or else he couldn't function. He lost his job. He lost respect for his relatives. He ended up on the streets, homeless. And one day, he suddenly came to, he encountered this guy that handed out a flyer, talked about how Jesus loved him and all of that. And the guy took the flyer, the drug addict took the flyer. He went to that Babylon church, and he was touched. They often describe their touching of the Holy Spirit as a kind of electricity running through their body, as this magnetic shock that they experienced. And after that magnetic shock, they had no intention anymore to do any drugs. And they remained with the Babylon church. The Babylon church invests in them, buys new clothes, arranges a house for them. They get an education. Soon they get a wife also. And then they have kids. And then this product is shown to the masses. Jesus lives. Jesus saves. And of course, his story is heartbreaking. And because there are many people with emotional issues out there who secretly are longing for drugs or were already using drugs, when they hear this, they think, if I just join one of those Babylon churches, I'll be fine. Of course, the individual doesn't know it's a Babylon church, but indeed, that's what it is. Now, what happened here? That guy, that drug addict, did not receive a miracle, an authentic miracle. He received a lying wonder. That magnetic shock experience were the evil spirits removing the bad tensions from his energy field and from his body. It were those bad tensions, those heavy and that heavy energetic pollution in his energy field, which also affects his physical body. It's that caused him to look for compensation in drugs to begin with. So the demons removed all of that. But why did the demons do it? because now the man needed help, a lot of help, and he got it from the Babylon church. So everything the guy now received came from the Babylon church. So he became loyal to the Babylon church, thinking it's from God. And so now he serves the Babylon church with all his life, because he remembers he used to be homeless, doing drugs. Nobody cared for him, nobody looked at him. And this Babylon church does. So this man now becomes loyal to the harlot system, or better, the beast system, without him being aware of it. And after a while, they will reveal unto him what the real game is. After a while, they will reveal unto him, if he wants to become a pagan pastor, that no, we're not serving the real Christ here. We're serving Antichrist, we're serving Apollo. And we are here to keep people in the negative, to serve the system. Are you in or not? If he decides to be in, he can become a pagan pastor. He will have a high salary as a pagan pastor. He will have business trips to other countries. He'll be elevated. And this elevation serves as an example to draw more people in pagan Christianity. That's how it goes in pagan Christianity. There are no real miracles happening in pagan Christianity. The real miracles are the believers who are still stuck there. They are the only real miracles in pagan Christianity. Because pagan Christianity is of the devil. It's beast worship. They worship Apollo, the sun god. Not the son of God, but the sun god. And here's the thing, that sun god, S-U-N, is a son indeed, S-O-N, but not the son of the Most High, is a son of the enemy. That's who pagan Christianity serves. Everything in pagan Christianity revolves around Apollo. And I call the beast by his name because the Bible does, Revelation 9, verse 11. So when you have those Babylon churches telling you that some political figure is the Antichrist, they are lying to you. Just think about the following here. If pagan Christianity had real wonders and real miracles, the whole of pagan Christianity would fall apart within a day. Because real miracles, real signs and wonders, which are from the Holy Spirit, would tear down that whole homosexual pyramid structure that runs pagan Christianity. So that's what I want to reveal to you about those testimonies. Now, it can be that someone was really deep in drugs or in other dangerous stuff and Christ set them free. That happens. But in pagan Christianity, there's always this emotional twist, this emotional spell that comes along with those testimonies. Look, that's why I have discernment when you so-called listen to testimonies of people that came to Christ. I'm not saying that real wonders and miracles don't happen. They do every day. But pagan Christianity, which serves the false master, will only promote what's false. Pagan Christianity will never promote what's real. They will never promote what's true. No, they will never do that. And in order to make it in pagan Christianity, it's the same as when you want to make it in Hollywood. You have to be fake. Only the fake can compete in pagan Christianity. And if the competition there are fake, pagan Christianity is fake, people. It appears real because you've been conditioned to think it's real. You've been conditioned to think that that's the way of the Lord. It's not. Pagan Christianity is really Apollonism when you look at it carefully. Because through its false peace, it destroys many. Many have been destroyed by pagan Christianity. And here's the thing. In pagan Christianity, only the success stories are broadcasted. Never will they show you those members that went to those pagan churches for over 10 or 20 years or even 30 years and they're still broke. Some became sick. They lost productive years of their life and they end up miserable. Or some even die lonely or they die of all kinds of diseases. Pagan Christianity will never show you that. Why not? Because if they would show all of that, you begin to ask, hold on a minute. You claim to be the ambassadors of the Christ, yet Christ who came and took our sicknesses, took our diseases, yet you have people dying of those same sicknesses and diseases with you. How is that possible? If they would show you all the victims of pagan Christianity and all the people that have been exploited unto death, you would realize, hold on a minute, this is not from God. So they blind you with those fake testimonies and fake success stories. The same as in Hollywood. The same as in the pagan business world. That's how it goes in pagan Christianity. And here's another eye-opener to you. Pagan Christianity is above Hollywood and above the pagan business world. That's why pagan Christians can easily make it into Hollywood and into the business world. Very easily, on top of the pagan business world here. They can easily do it. Why? Because pagan Christianity is above it. Because pagan Christianity is run by the wizards directly. Of course, there are handlers, you need them, go to the distance, but pagan Christianity is run by the wizards directly, while Hollywood is run through handlers. There's a hierarchical distance between them and the wizards themselves. But pagan Christianity is run by the wizards directly. It's run by the shadow government directly. And let me tell you, the shadow government is running pagan Christianity so obvious that it's a real shock that people still can't see it. But okay, that's the thing with the harlot system. It turns you into a harlot, an energetic harlot. And just like you have those prostitutes who, as young girls, were tricked into prostitution, after a few years, they're walking on high heels, wearing nylon, short skirts with expensive watches, a lot of makeup on, and you see them with expensive phones. They get some compensation by their pimps. And because they get those compensations, they think they're living a good life. They are so trauma bonded that they're now in what they call the Stockholm syndrome, that they identify with their abusers, with their exploiters. The identification is so strong that they will defend them being exploited. And they will point out to the expensive phone, the expensive watch, and the nylon and the other sexy clothes to prove to you they're having a good life. Even though the fact is they're being exploited. Even though many people may abhor them when they see them. The same thing happens to you when you join pagan Christianity. You're turned into an energetic harlot. And you'll be trauma bonded so strong, if you're not aware, if you're not careful, she'll begin to defend the exploitation and oppression of you. Well, that's it for now. Just remember to have discernment when listening to testimonies of people that came to Christ. Because many of those testimonies are fabricated, or they're partially true. But the other side is that many of those people aren't really born again, or if they are born again, they are trapped. So always look at the bigger picture